There is a man buried somewhere in France that doctors refused to fully cut open. Not because of respect, because the smell was so unbearable that the surgeons physically could not stay in the room. And honestly, given what he spent his life eating, that tracks. This is Graveyard Footnotes, history's strangest true stories dug up. And today's grave belongs to a man named Tarrare, a man with one of the most disturbing medical conditions ever recorded, and quite possibly the worst dinner guest in human history. We do not even know his real name. Tarrare is basically a nickname. He was born around 1772, somewhere near Lyon, France, and from the very beginning, something was deeply biologically wrong with this kid. By his teens, Tarrare could reportedly eat a quarter of a cow's worth of food in a single day, his own body weight in beef before dinner. His parents were poor peasants. There was no possible way to feed this. He was, quite literally, eating his family into the ground. So they did the only thing they could afford to do. They threw him out. A starving teenager with a bottomless stomach kicked onto the roads of pre-revolutionary France with nothing. What could possibly go wrong? Tarrare wandered, he begged, he stole. And eventually he fell in with a traveling band of thieves and street performers, the gig economy of the 1780s. They quickly realized this boy was a gold mine, because Tarrare would eat anything, and people will pay to watch that. His act was simple and revolting. In front of a crowd, he would swallow whole baskets of apples, then corks, then stones, then live animals. He once reportedly ate a live cat in front of an audience, blood and all, then brought it back up. As entertainment, people loved it. Eventually, the act made it all the way to Paris, the big leagues. Tarrare became a genuine street sensation, but there was a problem, and it was the same problem he'd had his entire life. No matter how much he ate, no matter what he ate, he was always constantly, agonizingly hungry. And his body matched the horror show. Witnesses described loose hanging skin around his belly that he could wrap around himself when empty. His body radiated heat. He sweated constantly and reeked so badly that people could smell him from a distance. Tarrare was not having a good time being Tarrare. Then, in 1792, France did what France was doing a lot of at the time. It went to war. The revolution needed soldiers, and Tarrare, out of options, signed up for the French Revolutionary Army. Now you can already see the issue. Army rations are calculated for a normal human stomach. Tarrare's stomach was a black hole with legs. A standard soldier's ration vanished into him and did absolutely nothing. He was starving again, but this time surrounded by other starving armed men. So Tarrare did what Tarrare did. He ate the other soldiers' rations. He ate from the medical waste piles. He ate stray animals around the camp. He collapsed from exhaustion and hunger and was finally hauled off to a military hospital, which is where things get scientific, and much, much worse. At the hospital, Tarrare came under the care of two army surgeons, Dr. Corville and the famous Dr. Pierre-François Percy. And to them, Tarrare was not a patient. He was the most fascinating specimen they had ever seen. So they decided to run some experiments. They fed him a meal prepared for 15 people. He finished it and asked for more. They gave him live eels, which he crushed in his teeth and swallowed whole. They gave him snakes, lizards, a live cat again. The doctors watched in fascinated horror as Tarrare ate basically the entire reptile house. And then somebody, somewhere up the chain, had a genuinely insane idea. They had a man who could swallow anything and bring it back up on command. There was a war on. What if, and hear me out, what if they used him as a courier, a spy, a man who carries secret messages inside his own stomach? So that is what they did. They put a secret document inside a small wooden box, and Tarrare swallowed it. The plan was for him to walk through enemy Prussian lines, retrieve the box on the other side, and deliver the message. They even tested it first by making him swallow it and pass it. It worked, so off he went. There was just one tiny flaw in this brilliant plan. Tarrare did not actually speak German, and he had no idea what he was doing. He was caught by Prussian forces almost immediately. They stripped him, searched him, found nothing, but he was acting so suspiciously that they beat him and threw him in a cell. Eventually, nature took its course, the box reappeared, and the Prussians realized exactly what they were holding. A French spy with a message in his guts. They reportedly strung him up to hang him, then changed their minds, whipped him instead, and sent him back across the lines. Tarrare, understandably, retired from espionage. He came crawling back to Dr. Percy's hospital, and now we get to the part of the story that turns from grim comedy into something genuinely dark. Because Tarrare's hunger was getting worse, and the doctors were running out of things they were willing to feed him. The doctors tried everything to fix him: opium, laudanum, wine vinegar, tobacco pills, mountains of soft-boiled eggs. Nothing worked. Nothing even slowed him down. So Tarrare started leaving the ward at night to feed himself the only ways he could find. Staff caught him drinking the blood of other patients during bloodletting procedures. They caught him sneaking into the hospital morgue to eat the bodies. Let that sit for a second. The man was raiding the dead. And then a child went missing. A 14-month-old toddler vanished from the hospital. There was no proof. There was never any proof. But every single finger immediately pointed at one man. The hospital staff turned on Tarrare. Dr. Percy himself, his greatest defender, could no longer protect him. Tarrare was thrown out for good. And then, for about 4 years, Tarrare simply disappears from the record. No shows, no hospitals, no witnesses. We have no idea where he went or what or who he ate to survive. He becomes a ghost, until eventually he resurfaces. Dying. He turned up at a hospital in Versailles, wasted and finished. Tuberculosis. He told a doctor there that years earlier he had swallowed a golden fork and that it was stuck inside him and killing him. The doctor, reasonably, suspected the truth was even worse, that Tarrare's own body was finally rotting him from the inside. Tarrare died not long after, somewhere around 1798, probably in his mid-20s. A man who had eaten more than perhaps anyone in recorded history, killed in the end by his own ruined body. And then came the autopsy, which is where we came in. When the surgeons opened him up, what they found was staggering. His gullet was abnormally wide, his stomach was enormous, blistered with ulcers, and filled almost his entire abdomen. His organs were swollen far beyond anything normal. And the stench of the decomposing body was so overpowering that the surgeons had to stop. They could not finish. Modern doctors still argue about what was actually wrong with him. A damaged thyroid, some unknown disorder of the brain's hunger center, a nervous system that simply never received the signal that says, "You are full, you can stop now." Whatever it was, Tarrare never once in his life got to feel it. And that is the part that stops it from being funny. Strip away the cats and the corks and the spy mission, and you are left with a poor, sick man, driven out by everyone who ever met him, starving every single day of a short and miserable life. History remembered him as a freak show. We just dug him back up as a footnote. This has been Graveyard Footnotes. Subscribe, and we will see you at the next grave.